Okay. Tell them what happened, okay?
Okay. Well, my name's Corey Albrecht. Last fall, well, it actually happened even earlier. I was being woken up, with my name being called and stuff. And I just thought my house, it's always been haunted, so I just figured, well, we got a female ghost now in the house. And things progressed, whatever, and I started seeing UFO ships at work, coming home from work, and they can make themselves invisible. I mean, they can make their ships invisible, they can make themselves invisible. And I had some touches that went on. I'm just making a real short story, but I had some touches that went on during this time that actually opened up my third eye to see this being in my room the morning that it happened. When it realized I saw it, I mean, it jumped alongside of my bed. The dogs were banging on my door trying to get my attention, and I just thought I'm just seeing things. So I'm just like, oh, great. So I roll over. Well, then after that, it was like I knew things were happening. I was trying to fight it. I couldn't fight it. The only thing when I came back, I don't know how much time went through, but the last thing I can remember is, they took my eggs and they live on the moon. And they did place a chip on my right side of the ear, which I had a hands-on healer deactivate it.
Cool.
Well, and when did this start?
Oh boy, it was going on for over a year and a half almost. But the abduction happened last October. I was almost ready to check myself in.
Was there any time missing?
I didn't pay attention. I really didn't.
Okay.
I just
Where do you live?
I live in Menasha, Wisconsin.
Okay. Have there been any other sightings or that type of thing reported in the local newspaper or TV during the time you were?
Well, I tell you, I didn't even want to talk about it because my whole family was ready to commit me.
That's how that usually goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there had to have been because during that time I saw enough of the little ships going all over the Fox Valley area. But they also showed me, I don't know, a dream or a scenario where bad things are going to be happening. Like a huge flood of some kind. Made me feel my sister's death on the East Coast, like something bad.
Do you feel were these dreams or what things that you saw? Do you feel they were in the past or in the future?
No, in the future. Because when I got woken up with her voice, I finally just answered her. I said, "Okay, what do you want? Show me." And then that's when this image or whatever they did to me showed me, something bad that's going to happen around where I live, and then made me feel my sister's something horrible that's going to happen on the East Coast.
Where does your sister live?
She lives in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, and you think it was a flood? Is what you?
Yeah, because I was having dreams of huge waves.
You don't know how. You don't have any way of knowing how far in the future this is. I mean.
No, I have no clue.
Okay. And are you still having these? Are you still being visited?
I don't think so. I haven't felt that fear when they were in the room. I would always sense when they were in the room because I had this horrible fear that came over.
How long ago did you quit feeling that way?
How long what?
Did you quit feeling that there was something present?
I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay. Rick, you got anything you wanted to ask her?
Yeah, actually, have you ever had any precognitive experiences outside of what you consider to be the visitation? I mean, have you ever had dreams that forecast?
Yeah, I guess our family is kind of like that. I never really paid attention to it all these years, but yeah.
Okay. Hang on. Folks, I got to go, but get Mary to say this recording for us, because this is exactly the stuff that Anthony needs.
I'm recording.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, folks. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. Has my camera gone dim or something? Nope. Just me. I don't like my forehead shining to everybody. Okay. Well, that's a very interesting story, and I have heard many stories like that, and there's really no answer except that I believe that certain people are more susceptible to this type of thing than others. I saw a UFO many years ago, but that's all it was a sighting. I've never had anything like this, but it sounds like you like you said, your family might, be sensitive towards these things. I personally, the type that you just discussed, I don't think it's any threat to you. I believe that we're being visited by two different groups of beings. One is very anti-human, shall we say, and the other one is actually pro-human and trying to help us. So it seems like from what you said that there's really no worry about them hurting you or anything.
Yeah, well, this one, like I said, she came across with a female voice, and then she was wearing like a little black space suit of some kind.
Right.
I guess that's kind of typical. I don't know.
Yes. But she sounds like she's being visited by the friendly.
Well, why would it leave so much fear instilled in me, though?
What's that?
What type of fear?
I don't know. It was the worst fear I've ever felt.
It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of the unknown is what you're having. But like I said, from what you're telling me, it seems like you're meeting with the friendly ones, whatever they are. And I wouldn't be worrying too much about the fear. We don't even want to talk about the horrible ones, and it doesn't seem like they're the ones that are bothering you.
No, I'm still here, so I guess that's okay.
Well, they seem the horrible ones, or the bad ones as I call them, seem to be more along the lines of making hybrids or testing women and men too, and probing their bodies and that type of thing. That doesn't sound like your group.
Yeah, but if they took my eggs, isn't that kind of like a hybrid?
What, do you remember them taking your eggs?
Yeah, that's
or
the
something
only,
like
the only.
Oh yeah, well yeah, so yeah, that's quite common though. All I would advise you to do is when it happens and you wake up, right at that moment, get out a pen and paper and write down every single fact you can remember, because what it seems to me like is there is a recession of memory as time goes on.
In my home, in Menasha. And prior to that, I was seeing a bunch of ships.
So what's your thoughts, Mary?
Well, it just goes to show one thing that all these UFO sightings that I've been reporting in this area. As you see, here's another witness to all these UFOs here in this area. And
yeah, it seems that your area, but with that vortex, you would definitely have a lot of activity all around there. And with my understanding of the makeup of the ground in Wisconsin, in that area up there, is that it's very porous. So there's probably a lot of underground activity going on. And of course, as you know, I attribute all of this stuff to underground.
Yeah, underground. Well, also I contributed also to a lot of multidimensional activity.
Interdimensional, right, and time travel.
Yeah.
Time travel is my biggest choice, actually. Time travel, but
But I do want to make
Time travel, but time travel from inside, because it's my belief that as mankind progresses, whoever's going to be left is going to have to go inside.
yeah.
So therefore, the time travelers of tomorrow would be inside,
Yeah.
and that makes these craft come from inside, and that's my belief.
Well, you know, that's what I have in that latest book that I have out, Time Forgotten. That they went into the inner earth because it wasn't safe to be here on the surface because of all the activity going on here.
Well, I heard they've been
Yeah.
in the Earth for
Well,
hundreds.
I'm because Brad Steiger's coming on our show in September. I'm rereading his book. Hold on just a minute.
Democrats on radio show like I have on, Rick has on.
Well, they were definitely showing me some bad things coming. That's all I remember.
They saw bad things coming.
That's some natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's common too. That is purchase.
As you know, Mary, I saw you. I think I was on your show and explained about my UFO sighting, wasn't I?
I don't know, Dennis, if you talked about it or not. I can't remember.
Okay. Anyway, I saw a UFO sighting during the Cuban Missile Crisis at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. My outfit was Strike One. We were going to be the first ones to jump into Cuba to actually clear the way for the Marines. Anyway, during that time, I saw a UFO, a huge UFO, and my immediate thought was that they were time travelers, because if I was a professor or if I was a young college student writing a paper on the Cuban Missile Crisis and you had a time travel machine available, what better way than to understand it than to go look at the participants? So,
Oh, okay.
that was my belief. So, my instant belief, of course, I did a lot of research since then, but I was reading Brad Steiger, The Rainbow Conspiracy, which he put out in, I don't know, he was so far ahead of everybody else. Can't wait to get him on our show. 1994. And he looks into the 1896 airship mystery, and as you know, Mary, I wrote a book on it, so it's quite a subject to me. And in it, he mentions 2 times where the aeronauts of the time, 1896, landed, and the witnesses said they told them that they were going to Cuba to fight in Cuba and to help, Teddy Roosevelt and that type of thing. The problem was Cuba wasn't until 2 years after that. And I found a couple of instances in the 1896 airship mysteries where I was investigating them, where they said that they were going to the World's Fair, which wasn't until, 1900. So what it seems like is in 1896, 97, they were a bit out of sync with history. So that leads me to a little further into the belief that they might be time travelers.
I believe that.
So if they were time travelers and they came and they knew of a flood in your sister's hometown 2 years from now, it would stand to reason if they could warn you, they would do that if you were that type of, you had the susceptibility to accept them. I mean, that's just one theory. There's a million. Give me another cup. And the reason I mentioned the underground activity, because it's also my belief that sometime in the future, humanity is going to have to get off of this old surface, and and I think it's happened time and time before, where they went into the earth and learned to live in a cavern world. And so if that is true, then the time travelers of the future would be coming from inside the earth. And if the government knew it, they would certainly want us to believe that they came from outer space, because they damn sure don't want us to believe. They damn sure don't want us to know the truth, so to speak.
Yeah, they've been trying to hide this for so long, but it's like, how can you sit there and hide this?
Well, I don't know. You know, I read to you what I'm going to read about MUFON tonight. I think they're part of the problem. So, here we go. One. Tonight is going to be a nice night on our show with Anthony Peake, who's going to be telling us about the life after death. And he is pretty much becoming the world's expert on the subject. Oh my goodness. I am tired. Where is Mary? Did Mary leave?
No, she's taking orders on a table.
And so tell me some more of your experiences. When you were real young, did you have any kind of experiences at all?
You know, I really, like, not like I can remember like this one. I mean, from what I found out, I guess, supposedly my uncle was abducted years ago when he was young. So I didn't know if they followed the family.
Sometimes they do, yes. Sometimes they do.
You know, my dad said that he, when he was a kid, he saw a UFO fly overhead and scare the crap out of him, and he went running home.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances. There's a lot of instances where it will follow family lines.
Well, I noticed that she has red. You know, she has like what I like to refer to as the red-haired gene. She's got like a little touch of red in her complexion with the freckles.
Well, you
slide over for a minute. Slide over and let me see for a minute.
And then also she carries the strawberry blonde hair, which is quite rare.
Why?
Stick your head in the mirror for a minute. Yeah. Okay.
It's gotten a lot darker over my age.
And we've noticed that a lot of they're very interested, especially our own government. You know, that the more the shadow government is very interested in these people that carry that red-haired gene.
Why?
And very light complexions.
I found out my grandfather was kind of psychic. I just found this out when this all happened to my uncle, and he was psychic, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the ones that carry that red-haired gene are very susceptible to.
Well, that's kind of what I've been experiencing now.
Do you
Qualities of the ancient races.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So
have you
or what?
Well, if it is a case of taking your eggs, I would imagine that's going to create like children for the future, you know, to carry on this gene.
Huh. The genes that, well, typically every...
Wow, look at you. How cute. How cute.
Have you followed the UFO? Have you read a lot of UFO books or any at all?
No, I after all this happened, I kind of dug into it to learn what the heck just happened.
So you had
Right.
interest in this until you had your own.
How far do you live from Mary? How far do you live from Mary?
I don't know, a couple hours or more.
Couple what?
Couple hours or more.
Okay. And have you been here before?
No.
Oh, okay. Just curious. Yeah, but I wouldn't. I don't know. You know, now that you tell me that they was there pain when they took eggs and that type of thing?
You know, I always had a lot of female problems after, I don't know. So maybe it was going on for a long time. I don't know.
Yeah, that seems to usually be the case. I'm sure Mary can put you in touch with somebody who would be very interested in looking into it.
I don't know, I just, you know, it's like I couldn't really tell anyone because, like I said, my whole family was ready to commit me. Even my...
That happens, I tell you what.
I mean, how can you
My
trust
family,
people?
my family's been ready to commit me since I was 16.
Well, that's one of the reasons this place is so important, because people can come together, talk to people of like minds, talk to me, and then we have always specialists, you know, that you can actually talk to on the internet, like Dennis and different people.
Well, I'm not really a specialist because abductions are not really my forte. I've never paid much attention to abductions. I mean, I've read all the literature, but you know, I'm more of a nuts and bolts guy. You know what I mean? I want somebody to bring me a piece of metal from one.
Yeah.
Is what I want.
All
But
I can do is,
I'm sure, Mary, you know some people that you can put her in touch with.
We actually have a regular support group that people can, that have had contactees or abductees join, and then they kind of support each other back and forth. So I'm going to give you the name of that support group so you can
Yeah.
join that and get help from people that have actually went through the experience.
yeah, when
Yeah.
there's a hands-on healer from Minnesota that worked on me, and she found 2 chips, one in my right and one in my leg. I had her deactivate the one in behind my ear. So I don't know.
They found a chip. Did you say?
Yeah, she found a chip where behind my right ear, because I know after it happened, because my right ear for several months was really hurting behind my ear. And then she found one in my leg.
Ah.
So I don't know how long it was going
Well,
on.
sounds like you're definitely being monitored. But like I say, you know, that's not my area of research, and you know, I'd like you to go talk to somebody who that is their area of research, and the support group Mary will give you would be the people.
Yeah, like I said, trying to deal with it on your own was really not that easy.
Did they take you out?
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And that's why support groups and also, you know, even talking to Mary and Rick and people like myself helps. But you know, like I say, that's not really my area. I have read all the literature, and you sound like you have a classic case of abduction there. But I couldn't go any further than that.
Yeah. But like I said, at least I'm on a better road for recovery finally.
Have you had any more contact with them?
No, it's been quiet.
This is at one time?
No, it went on.
The last time was in November, I should say.
Well, October, but they were there more often. I mean, they were there more times after, but I haven't felt them around for a while now.
You know,
Mary,
Dennis, the
Mary,
time as we were doing our UFO conference here.
Mary.
UFO conference here in Burlington, and you being abducted 4 hours or 2 hours away. Yes, Dennis.
I know it's off the top of your head and everything, but during the period she's talking about, have you received reports of unusual activity in the area where she lives, or you know, around that area
She's
during the period she's talking of?
she's busy with her customers.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to ask her again though.
What's that?
Yeah, I will when she comes in. When she gets done with her customers.
I can hear.
I just asked you, do you know of any increase in activity or special activity that was going on in her area of your state during the time she's telling us about?
It has never let up, Dennis. It was very, very.
Oh, I understand that. I understand that, but I'm talking about, have you, off the top of your head, can you think of any unusual activity that was going on during that time before you ever met her, which is just today?
Yes, that happened about the same time as we were doing the UFO conference here last year, and there had been a lot of sightings in the area. And I've got
Okay.
reports, documented reports that I'll be showing her of, some things that have been sent in along with pictures.
Well,
Gotcha.
there was at least 2 sightings when we were in Kingston at Terry's grandmother's house where we saw a ship land and come up close.
Kingston.
Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And then I
Was that same year?
yeah. And like I said, they can make their stuff look invisible, but you can still see the distortion. Like during the day, I saw this saucer flying around up in Kingston, and you could see right through it, but you could see the distortion in the whole thing of it.
Well, it's been nice talking to you, and I know I haven't done much to help, but at any rate, Mary, I've got to go start doing some research for tonight's show. I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty, Rick. Thank you for your help.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. Bye bye.